Hi guys, welcome to Code Wild. So in today's video, we're going to discuss about a problem called palindrome partitioning. It's basically a leetcode question, medium level question. So before I start the question, just read the question. Uh, I hope you heard the question. So basically, what they're saying is they have given us thing is we have to partition this thing into such a substring that it should be palindromic. For example, let me take an example of AAB. So we can partition it into a single component because single component is always palindromic. So AAB as one component and AA and B as another component. So we are displaying it. So how will we solve it? Just think about that. We are going to solve this using a famous approach. There are a lot of approaches, but we are going with famous DFS approach. So before I start to explain the process, let me just write down the code real quick so that it will be easy for me to just explain it. So basically what we are taking, it's a common approach, right? For we need a helper function, we use a helper function when solving the DFS problem, and we use something like DFS or solve as a helper function. So what we are going to do is we are before that let's just take a n value, I mean the length of it, so that it will be easy. And we are taking a 0. I'll say you why it's a 0. It's basically we are just pointing it as a start. We are keeping a start. I'll explain later. I mean why we are using it. We are taking two vectors, that is one for storing a particular value and storing the whole value. So we are taking two vectors for it. So let's take it as answer variable, and now we'll return answer here. I'll just explain, don't worry. So okay, now let's work on solve basic DFS which returns no value, that is void, right? And let's take it as j and int n and string uh, string, right? And let's do a condition that if j double equal to n, then answer dot push back of v. I think you might have got a little idea what j is functioning as here in this question. I hope so. However, I'll explain it. Then or else what we are going to do is sorry, I think it would be better for me to just write down the code before recording it, or else if I just write the code right now, I think it will be a lot of time waste. Let me know what do you guys feel. So now what we are going to do is uh, we'll just check like if we are also creating a helper function for checking the palindromic string. So we are going to say that if s uh, j to I, it is true, then we going to push back, sorry, push back. What we are going to push back, that is substring from yeah, j to I minus j plus 1. Don't be in a panic state. I am going to explain that. So then what we are going to do is we are going to say I plus 1 and n and s, right? And we are also going to pop back uh, it's a sort of a backtracking we are doing it, right? Then what we are left at. I think this is pretty much it. But yeah, we have to create a helper function that is palin. So obviously the boolean type palin accepts what are we accepting it. Palin takes a string s and and j. Let's take it as x and int y. Right now, what we are doing is while s of x plus plus not equal to s of y minus minus. I think this is a basic one. I think you might know what I'm just checking. I'm just checking if it's palindromic or not from the end and from the start. It, or else, no, wait a minute. Sorry, sorry. What am I doing? It should be x less than r. I'm just using it as a main one. Okay, so if s of x plus plus not equal to s of y minus minus, and here we'll return true. I hope everything is set fine. Let's just run this one. What is, sorry, should be fine. Should run. Yeah, it's working. Let's just submit this. If let's see if yeah, it is working. Right now, let's just go jump into the solution part. Okay, so basically, we are taking the two vectors. Why we are taking the two vectors? One is for storing the substrings, and one for storing the whole list or the vector. Right. Fine. So I think I think I don't need to explain this. This in basic one, we are just checking if the two numbers is palindromic or not. So we are just starting from the beginning, and we are taking one from the end, and we are just decreasing the count and increasing the count of the start and decreasing count of the end pointer. And if it is not matching, we are displaying false. If it's matching, we are displaying true. Okay, so let's come to the main function. I mean the function which is given. So here we are basically taking a helper function which starts its pointer from 0th, because we want to get the palindromic from the 0th index. So we are taking from 0th index and we are storing the length, and we are taking the string itself. We are returning the answer vector, because that's what we need to display the vector of strings we want to display it, right? So let's jump into this helper function. So what we are doing is this is the main one where everything is going on. Right, so what we are doing is if j is double equal to n, we just push the v vector elements into the answer. Let's see what v is. Before let's see this function first, this uh, one first, and then let's go here. So basically what we are doing is we are starting the we are running the for loop from I equal to j. J is the starting pointer where we are pointing to the 0th index, right? So we are checking if from if 0 to 0 it is palindrome. If a is palindrome, yes. So what we do is we insert the string 0 to 0 minus 0 plus 1, that is 0 to 1, that is a. So we are inserting the first element inside the vector v, and we are sending for the next iteration, that is I plus 1. And this sort of backtracking, I mean, if it's not it's not, if it is not following the condition, it pops back, right? It's a normal backtracking, uh, and uh, and yeah, like then it points to I plus 1, that is 1. So it comes to second element, that is a. So again it checks if 0 to 0 to 1, that is a. If it is satisfying, if it is palindromic, so it will go to palin. If it is true, it will push back uh, the element, second element a, and so on. It goes for a and b, and again after that when the pointer points here to the last index, that time it checks if j double equal to n. Yes, because the j pointer is at the last in. So if it is true, it will push back push it will push the vector v inside the answer vector. So we are getting this, we are forming the list. This is the list, so this list will be formed, right? And we'll return it. And basically the same thing goes for a and b. Let me explain that too. For example, if you are going with this, once this vector is pushed, and we again check, we run a for loop, and we check if it is already entered, and again we run the for loop, that is it will, because we return the first argument, we again the pointer starts from the 0th index, and again it will run, and again this time for example if it want to push what will be the point, the for loop will be running from 0 1 2, right? So it will be from 0 to 2. So if it is, if the condition palin is satisfying, like a, so the condition will be satisfied, right? So if the condition is satisfied, it will push back uh, the substring, that is 0 to 2. 0 to 2 nothing but means a, right? So after that it will if there is any false function, it will pop back. So this is the normal the famous PFS approach. I hope you have understood the solution. Even if you didn't understand it, just go through the solution once. I'm sure you will understand it. It's not that tough, right? Just you have to be somewhat good in DFS, recursion, backtracking sort of concept, right? So yeah, so let's submit this once again. However, we have did it. Yeah, it's earning. So yeah. Hope this video was helpful, and if you like the video, you can like it, and please do subscribe to our channel, because we are coming up with good contents in the future, like the topics on web development, that is full stack, both front end and back end, and ML, and lot more. So yeah, stay tuned, and uh, keep coding. Yeah, thank you.